Welcome to Expose on One TV Network. I am Flora Duke, and a very quick one. Has the federal government of Nigeria resolved the lingering issues with academic staff union? On Expose today, we quickly take a look at the casualties of this lingering dispute. Now, by next week, it will be 4 months since the academic staff union embarked on industrial action. Now, if you are in Nigeria, parents and students, and you hope to study in Nigeria University, one thing you should bear in mind is the constraint in the academic staff union, and of course, there's always constant heart of the academic calendar due to and academic staff union of university is the most challenging issue in Nigeria of recent. Of course, yes, amidst the preparation for the incoming general elections, and each time the two parties called for a meeting to settle the discord, it usually ends in disagreement, deadlock. These have always been the issue with the government of the day, promising the union that their demands would soon be met. Now, since 1999, the federal government has literally refused to meet the union's demands, and this is a major reason ASUU goes on strike almost every year. To clear your doubt, let me quickly bring you up to speed with the days and days ASUU has embarked on industrial action. A quick timeline of ASUU since 1999. In 1999, after the end of the military era, in 1999, Nigerians were ushered into democracy, and the government the premise to be people-oriented, but didn't take long for Nigerian students to experience a disruption in their academic pursuit. Few months after the Obasanjo-Atiku administration was sworn in, academic staff union of universities embarked on a nationwide strike, and it lasted for 5 months. And secondly, 2001 precisely, ASUU declared another strike over the reinstatement of 49 lecturers sacked at the University of Ilorin. The industrial action was aggravated when the then President Chief Olusegun Obasanjo described Nigerian university lecturers as a bunch of lazy and ungrateful people. Quote, the strike was called off after 3 months. This means 5 months in 1999, then another 3 months in 2001, which gives you a total of 8 months in less than 2 years since the federal government and ASUU have been having conflict. That's in 1999-2001. Moving on to what happened in 2002, and I haven't had an agreement with the federal government during the previous strike. The union was forced to embark on another industrial action on Sunday, December 29, 2002, after the Obasanjo administration failed again to implement the agreement. The strike lasted for only 2 weeks. And straight up to 2003, Nigerian University undergraduates had to stay home again for 6 months, a very lengthy one, 6 months, as ASUU embarked on another industrial action due to the non-implementation of the previous agreement, which covered poor university funding and disparity in salary and retirement age, which means 8 months plus 2 weeks. Then 6 months, that gives a total of 14 weeks, 14 months rather, 2 weeks within a space of 3 years and some months. And in 2005, yet again, Nigerian university students again experienced another disruption in the academic calendar as university lecturers went on another industrial action. According to a publication by the Guardian paper, the lecturers went on another strike for just 2 weeks. Fast forward to 2006, in April 2006, academic staff activities were paralyzed public universities across the country when ASUU declared a 3-day one-hour strike. It eventually lasted for 1 week and took us into what happened in 2007. The 2006 industrial action was followed by another in March 2007. The strike lasted for 3 good months. The reason for the strike were pretty much the same reasons for the previous strike. And in 2008, the game was still on. In a bid to press home its demand, ASUU went on another 1 week in 2008. The demands included an improved salary scheme and reinstatement of 49 lecturers who were dismissed at the University of Ilorin. And again in 2007, lecturers in public university across the country embarked on another industrial action that lasted for 4 good months. The strike, which started in June, was called off in October. Before the strike was called off, the federal government and the union had an agreement that in 2009, ASUU federal government agreement would later become the reason for the subsequent industrial action. Fast forward to 2010 also saw another setback for Nigerian University undergraduate in the academic staff union ASUU embark on another indefinite strike that lasted for over 5 months, the longest ever. The strike lasted until 22nd of July 2010, was called off in January 2011 from year to year. Since the federal government failed to honor its 2009 agreement to adequately fund the university in the country and to implement the 70-year retirement age limit for ASUU members, the union again paralyzed academic activities in 2012. In 2012, there was a huge setback, and the people could not comprehend it. The strike went on and on and on. Just put it together since 2011, since 2001, and now to 2022, the strike industrial action still continue to linger. Why is it difficult for the government of the day to provide solution to this issue? Why is it difficult for the government of the day to find the lasting way to resolve the crisis between ASUU and federal government? Why is it difficult for the government of the day to yield to the yearnings, the cry of ASUU, Academic Staff Union of University? Why is it an uphill task for the government of the day to look at revitalization of university, scale up of salary, funding of the school system, equipping the school system, let the school actually look like a school that the name actually portrays? Year in, year out industrial action. Year in, year out industrial action. One may want to ask, what is Academic Staff Union of University doing? Should they always be available for the strike? And again, must it be strike at all times? Must it be strike at all times? Government failure to review the retirement age for professors from 65 to 70. Approve funding to revitalize the university system. Increase the budgetary allocation to the education sector by 26% among other demands led to another industrial action. The strike was embarked upon on July 1st, 2019 and called off on Tuesday, December 17, 2013. It lasted for 5 months, 15 days. And in 2017, another, on August precisely 2017, ASUU again declared an indefinite strike over unresolved contentious issue with the federal government. The strike was later called off in September. And on 2018 again, due to the federal government's failure to meet its demand, the Academic Staff Union of University ASUU declared an indefinite industrial action. The union embarked on strike on Sunday. And in November 4, 2018, after the National Executive Council meeting held at the Federal University of Technology, Akure, Ondo State, ASUU embarked on a 3-month nationwide strike on November 4, 2018 due to the federal government inaction. This has continued and continued. The strike was, however, suspended on 7th February 2019 after a meeting between ASUU leadership and a government delegation led by Minister of Labour and Employment, Dr. Chris Ngige, who noted that the government had put measures in place to address the issues, to address the 8 mandate as given, the 8 contentious issues listed by Academic Staff Union, which has led to the strike. Quite a sad one. Now, if you accumulate all of these properly, you will find out that between 1999 to 2018, Academic Staff Union of University in Nigeria are always on strike. Academic activities is always disrupted. By 30 months in the space of 9 years, 30 good months, academic staff activity has embarked on a strike. What this means is that in the space of 9 months, students stayed at home for 2 years and 6 months due to industrial action. In 2020, the union initially embarked on a 2-week warning strike in March 2020 over the failure of the federal government to implement its 2019 agreement and resolution with the union. The strike, however, lasted for over 9 months, whopping 9 months. That is more than 2 academic sections put together. More than 2 academic sections. A whole academic section paralyzed due to the pandemic, and again, all responsiveness of the government of the day to prioritize education, to fix what the academic body has been yearning for. And after the long 9-month strike, it was eventually called off in December 2020